Hey, it's Petra, and I'm here to do a reading for Virgo. This is number 6 in a new series here on my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for being here, and thanks for being here in the beginning with me to all my new subscribers. Because all my subscribers are new, because this is a new series and a new channel. So thanks for being one of the first. Yeah. What's up with Virgo? How's Virgo doing? I am going to pull some tarot cards, and I'm also going to pull out my rune stones at the end of the reading and pull a rune for Virgo. And we're going to take a look at what is going on in the heart, what is at the heart of the matter, what is happening behind the scenes for mutable earth. This is a reading for the current moment, for the cycle that we're in, so Aries season. This reading is good for the next month, as well as the next 6 months, because that's how the moon works, right? We'll have a reflection period 6 months from now. Whatever's happening now will be reflected then. So this reading is a current moment, the month ahead, and the next 6 months as well. And yeah, how are you feeling, Virgo? What's in your heart space? One more shuffle. What's in the heart space of the Virgo? What is in the heart of the Virgo? Oh, wow. You can't decide whether to take a risk. Ooh, and it's a big risk. It's quite a big risk, quite a big decision here about something that's really important to you. Children, creative works, your greatest accomplishments. You are having to make a decision about a risk about that. Two of Pentacles is at the bottom of the deck, going back and forth, weighing the two sides. This is a very concrete matter. Real, like you're deciding between two things. You are juggling between two things. You're trying to figure out your way between two choices, two roads, it's a decision. And that is followed by the Fool, a risk, jumping off the edge of a cliff. My heart is like fluttering. It's like, oh my God, am I going to take that risk? Am I going to do it? Am I going to do it? Am I not? Am I going to do it? Am I not? It's like that. It almost feels like, you know, when you're like, if you've ever played like double dutch or like jump rope, and you have to like go back and forth before you jump in to kind of like get in the rhythm of it, right? And that's when you work up your courage to actually take the risk to jump in, right? That's what this feels like going back and forth, like trying to work up the courage, because this is something really important. The Sun is underneath the Fool in reverse. It's almost like you don't know. It's almost like the risk is that you don't know if you can have this. You don't know if you can have children, or you don't know if your creations are going to be successful, if it's even possible. If this isn't a family and like actually having kids, like this very much could be considering children, taking, you know, some kind of risk in order to conceive. Or it's just conceiving of something that is you're trying to create, that you're trying to bring into the world. Aries and Leo energy here. and 2 major cards. So it's a big decision. It's a big decision that is really matters a lot to you. You care about it a lot. Like, yeah, I can feel it. Like with this 2 of Pentacles in front and then these 2 major fire sign cards behind it, taking this risk on your creations. This could also be something you've been working on for a while. The Sun in reverse, a creation that you have been creating that's been, you know, a bun in the oven, so to speak, right? Like, let's say it's an idea that you've been working on, seeing if you can make happen, or a creative project, or even something you want to reveal to someone, something you want to show someone, how you feel about them, or how, you know, a plan, or something that you have that hasn't been brought into the light of day that you've been creating. There could also be a risk just around releasing that into the world. There could be a lot of, I mean, there is, anytime we release our creations into the world, there's risk involved. That is when you tell someone you have feelings for them, or you tell someone that, you know, your plan or your idea, that's when it becomes, you know, possible to fail, possible to be rejected. And that's what this 2 feels like. This 2 of Pentacles, like, can I put this out there? Can I go for it? Can I go for it? Will I fail? Working up the courage to make that leap. Wow, why is Virgo feeling this way? Whoa. Okay. Yeah, you don't know if you can make it happen, but you really want it. There's some kind of passion, creative energy, something you want to bring into the world. This is the Ace of Wands. This is a new beginning. This is a new creation. This is something, again, this fiery energy of something you want to begin, something you want to try. And it's followed by the 8 of Swords and the 9 of Swords. Yikes. You're agonizing over this. Who had this combination? Gemini. And I misread it. That's funny. The same combination came up in the Gemini reading. And Gemini is kind of your sister sign, Virgo. It's also Mercury. It's the air sign side of Mercury. You're the earth sign side of Mercury. And these 2 cards are the number one, I mean, the top, both of them are at the top of the anxiety, the thoughts getting away from you and trapping you, and circular thoughts. I mean, look at them. So this is coming up for the anxiety is coming up for the mercurial signs. And you are agonizing over this new start. Agonizing, going in circles. I mean, this is the 9 of Swords, is the card of sleepless nights. Something that keeps you up at night, right? And this 8 of Swords is mentalities or thought forms or thought patterns that keep you stuck, that keep you restricted, that keep you from not seeing. And here is all of that anxiety surrounding this creation that you want to give it a go. Wow, it's really, oh my God, here's another ace and more swords and more conflict. the Five of Wands with the Ace of Swords and the Four of Swords in reverse. The 4 and the Ace together makes a 5, and this is a 5. This seems like an argument that is stalling, or somebody, there's this truth here, right? There's a conversation that needs to be had about this new beginning, this creation, this risk on a creation, this decision that's being made, right? There's some kind of communication, conversation that needs to happen that is critical. It's kind of looming. I feel like one person on one side of it wants to duke it out, wants to talk about it, wants to engage and go back and forth and like, yeah, let's just fight about it. And the other person wants to avoid the situation. I'm thinking that is you, Virgo, whoever is in this mode right here, all these swords, whoever is doing all this, secluding themselves to think things through a lot and a lot and a lot and over and over and over and over. Like that thinking things through process, I feel like there's an energy coming in that is like, we need to talk about this. We need to address this. There's some truth here that needs to be spoken. And it's kind of like, if it's not a person who's approaching Virgo going, hey, this is clearly an issue. Can we just talk about it? If it's not a person, it's just the issue itself pressing on Virgo. Like, I know I have to address this. I know. And really being in this position of just wanting the peace to think things through. Four of Swords. He's here. This is the meditation after conflict or before conflict in order to prepare yourself. And this is secluding yourself in order to think things through. And here's the conflict, right? Here's the addressing of this. So Virgo's really resisting this decision or resisting having a conversation about this decision. Or resisting admitting something about the decision, possibly that it even needs to be made. I'm getting that you might be just kind of like putting it off and acting as if it's not, just because it stresses you out, like to have to make a decision. Yeah, there's something here about avoiding. Oh, so much conflict. Oh, look at that. Weird. Here's this fire too, again, beginning and ending. This 9 card. We've got the 5 and the 7 of Wands in reverse with the Queen of Wands. I think you're doubting whether you can actually in fact create this thing. And I think that you can. Like, this feels like you, this Queen of Wands, or whoever is considering this creation, whoever's considering trying to create something. That's this person. And I see this person, it's like she's sitting here and she's going, do I even have what it takes? there might be a sense here of like past failures or past attempts that you might have made to do this that didn't work, or something that was something that you were under the impression this was a lost cause. I hate this word, but you were like used goods. Like there's something about this queen being defensive because she's like, ugh, I don't like that. It's like I don't even want to say it. Like damaged. It's like she's thinking there's some kind of history here of like being damaged and having to be on the defense because of that, and not getting to just take a leap of faith. Like there's something that this queen is telling herself or has an experience about herself that makes her wonder, am I even capable of this? I think this Queen of Wands may have just found out that she actually can create this. So let's go with the children thing, right? If it's like someone who thought they couldn't get pregnant for a long time, suddenly getting information that they actually are fertile, and being rocked with that decision, right? Or yeah, it's like suddenly getting some kind of clarity or some kind of new information that's like, wow, this actually is a possibility for me now. Do I even want to take it? Like, is this even, I have all these doubts. There's all these like past doubts, these past storylines that are like suddenly not applicable, like suddenly not, there's something that's been renewed that I like. I wish I could show this on camera, the way that it lines up. Like these three are in a row diagonally, these two aces and this queen, and then on either side of that diagonal is this storyline of anxiety and self-doubt and shame and regret, and then on the other side of it is this storyline of being cast out and having to fight for yourself, having to defend yourself because you're like devalued or like damaged goods. There's these, it's almost like there's this new opportunity, new possibility that this queen is just finding out about herself, that she's like, a whole new decision has opened up, a whole new doorway has opened up that she thought was closed. And it's almost like these old patterns are so well worn and so comfortable for Virgo to be in this space of like, oh, I'll never have this thing, or, you know, oh, I'll never be successful. I'll never be a creative person in the way that I want. I'll never see my, you know, ideas take off. I'll never have a family. There's this self-defeating circular narrative that has been present for a long time and is suddenly, you're suddenly have outgrown it. Same with this. There's this, oh, poor me. You know, I've gone through so much and I'm like no good to anybody anymore. I have to just, you know, defend myself and fight for myself, and like there's this falling away of these narratives. It's kind of like those narratives here are like small potatoes compared to this new information, this new possibility, this new potential for growth that has just come in. Yeah, and it's really rocking you. It's really rocking you. I think you feel like it's a huge risk, right? You feel like it's this huge risk because of how everything has been going. Wow. Interesting. Yeah, I see Virgo trying to grapple with this, potentially not wanting to talk about it, potentially not wanting to deal with it. But I think it feels firmly front and center. Like there's someone giving you undeniable confirmation that yes, you actually can in fact create this thing. And yeah, you're going around and around and around about it. Wow. Huh. Okay. We're going to ask, how can Virgo best move through this? What is Virgo's best way through this? What can ease Virgo's heart? What can help Virgo move through this? This truth about their creative potential. Wow, yeah. This truth about your creative potential is completely shattering these old narratives about yourself. Huh. How can Virgo best move through this? What is Virgo's best way through this? Wow. Oh my. Very powerful. Justice with the Queen of Swords and the King of Swords in reverse. Here, I'm looking at both of their swords. These two women. She has a sword and in the Justice card, and here in the Queen of Swords, she has a sword in her hand. And here's this Ace of Swords in the center, right? This truth coming in about your creative potential. There's something here about being really decisive. Let's just say that, right? So the Justice card in her left hand, she has the scales, which is similar to this action in the Two of Pentacles, right? This decision making, weighing both sides, going back and forth. But in her right hand is that sword, right? And as soon as those scales balance out, boom, the decision comes in. And right behind her is that Queen of Swords. It's like, here's a queen companion. It feels like this is really backing up your creative potential with a decisive decision. Decisive decision. Make a decision. Right? That's literally the advice. If you're here going back and forth, here's the decision. And there's something here about, let's see, the King of Wands is now here with the Queen of Wands. This feels like approaching someone, approaching your partner, approaching the partner in this creative endeavor, approaching them with your decision. I think they're waiting on you. This King of Wands here, this is the match to the Queen of Wands, right? They are a pair. They're working together. They have complementary sides to a collaborative creation. And here he is in reverse. This is your decision, right? This is your decision. You have to be the one to make it. And you have to communicate it to him, right? That's what these swords are too. It's not just making the decision, it's actually expressing it too and being clear. So interestingly, this doesn't say yes or no. This doesn't say go for it, take the leap of faith. This also doesn't say it's too risky, don't go for it. All this says is choose. Make a choice. And communicate it to your partner. Be clear with your partner. And there's the Ace of Cups underneath that. 3 aces in one reading, huh? That's beautiful. Let's see. Here we have the 6 of Cups, the Page of Pentacles, and the 6 of Swords. Huh. 2 6s with a page. I think this is saying that if you do take that leap of faith and you do just go for it, you might be surprised by how well it works. You will be surprised that it works, that it actually takes. There's potential to create. There's being fertile, right? There's having ideas. There's having the ability to go create. And then there's actually doing the things and seeing the results and actually carrying out that creation in the physical realm. And that's what this Page of Pentacles is here. And it's kind of like, if you do bite the bullet and take, and go for it, it will work. That will come to you. That 4th cup will come to your 3 cups. You see how the page is like literally giving this cup to this man in the 4 of Cups? It will work if you choose to go for it. It will go from potential to actual reality. It will go from, being an idea to actually having tangible results. It will go from a desire to something you can actually see in the real world. And I think that these two sixes, it's funny. It's kind of like, if you do take this risk, right, and you leave all these doubts behind, all of these narratives about how you can't create, or how you're damaged in this way, or how you're whatever, like whatever these regrets and shame that's been, it's like, if you get away from that, if you choose to just go for it and get, it's like, if you choose that new path that's opening up, this yeah, this is a real feasible. It's feasible. It's not just a potential, it's actually feasible. And those results, because you've been in all of this, you know, oh, I don't have what it takes. Oh, you know, I'll be like this forever. Because you've been in that state, it's this surprise. It's this thing that, like, you're just hope, like you won't even like dare hope that it's real. And this tells me, yes, it's real. That wish, that hope, that potential has real, tangible, if you choose. It's like, this choice came first. Notice that, right? It's like, the choice came first. You had to weigh it. You know, you're here. Once you move into this position of choosing, of being clear about your choice with the people involved in this creation, like, then it's possible. Then it's possible to leave that old timeline and move onto this creating path that you previously thought was completely unavailable to you. Wow. That's fascinating. I'm gonna pull a rune stone to get further advice. I'm calling this the power stance. What is Virgo's power stance? What is Virgo's power stance in this coming? What is Virgo's power stance in this coming cycle, this current moment, as they move through this It's messages, it's the signals rune. It's called Ansus. And I associate this with Gemini too. It's very receptive. This says listen. Right? This says pay attention, right? Really listen, really be open, be willing to receive information. These things here, this activity is very closed off. You cannot think new thoughts. You can't receive new information, right? And when you're in this kind of defensiveness too, it's also, there's no room to listen. This says allow information to come to you. Allow yourself to listen, to absorb. it's a cerebral rune. It's a communication rune. It's like pay attention, right? But it has this like dexterity that I associate with Gemini, right? Like being able to see things from both sides, right? Like consider all angles. But it has this openness, this receptiveness to it, this ability to take in information. And like when you think about your nervous system, when it's functioning well, right, it's receiving all of these impulses and electrical pulses and translating them into information. And it has to be like lubricated and flexible in order to do that, right? In order to transfer all of those signals and to be able to sort of hold it. It's like, yeah, there's something here about really giving yourself the space to listen as you're considering, as you're making this decision. Be open to receiving new information, receiving new truths. Listen, this is saying like listen to this new truth, right? Listen to it. It is trying to tell you something, right? There is this clarity, there's this information that has come in because it's real. It's a message. There is, to get the messages rune with the Ace of Swords right in the center, it's literally like pay attention to the signs. Take the information, allow it, take it in. Allow it to change you. Allow it to change your perspective. Allow it to actually change how you think. Because this is the reality. This is you. This Queen of Wands and this Ace of Wands. You can create anything you want. So listen to that. Believe it, right? Just listening isn't just about hearing things. It's about actually taking them in and processing them and then adjusting, right? Actually absorbing the information, not just letting it pass through and not, right? It's about actually absorbing the information. Cool. That's good advice for Virgo or anybody in this situation, right? Yeah, it's like, listen. Listen to this new information that's coming in. Wow, okay. All right, Virgo. Got a decision to make, yes? I hope that was helpful in some way to the beautiful Virgo folks out there, and I hope that message finds people who can find it useful. I'm really enjoying doing these readings. I feel like I'm just starting to get the hang of it. Just the whole thing, like reading for people on YouTube, posting on YouTube, figuring out the algorithm, figuring out my flow in front of the camera. So yeah, I feel like I'm starting to get the hang of it and really enjoying it. So thank you for being here with me, and thanks for all of your engagements, and I will see you next time. I'm going to do Libra next, but I'm also going to do a rune, like a rune cast for the Libra full moon, which is coming up this weekend. So I will see you for that. All right, see you around.